Hello, everybody. Jim Malone here, coming to you live on Dallas Trading Floor. Well, it looks like the Ukrainian fighting is going on, and it's just not a good thing. But we can definitely do something with regards to our trading. I did close a lot of my options positions today, and I'll probably be talking about that a little bit later in the show. But basically, what's happening now, of course, is that the resource stocks seem to be doing well as some of the defense stocks. And I definitely have some defense stocks on the ready for you. There's one that I did buy today that I'll talk about in just a second. But without further ado, let's get into some of the slides. Basically, here's the situation on my holdings. It is starting to move in the right direction, it seems like. And so, there you go. I'm up on Google. I'm up on Cheniere. That's what I want to talk about. I'm up on Matador, also on Nutrien. That is an interesting stock. That is a fertilizer stock. Its symbol is NTR. I'm up on Williams Company. That's a gas pipeline company, doing well. And then I also bought a full position today in Raytheon, which of course is a defense stock. And the interesting thing about Raytheon, and I think a lot of the defense stocks are doing well, but I think Raytheon is likely to do the best of them all. It is RTX, and the reason I believe this is because Raytheon makes missiles, and unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of demand for missiles. Many of the Germans have started to change their ways. Looks like they're going to be buying. And, there just aren't that many companies that make missile batteries like this. RTX is the company, Raytheon Technologies. So that's one that we want to take a look at. The market rallied earlier today, but it pulled back in the late sessions. I think we could be seeing another leg down. We're in a market in correction right now. So it's tough time to buy anything. We want to be taking our profits relatively quickly here, and we want to be mostly in cash. The way it's stacked up is basically the Dow was off, S&P was off, Nasdaq, and the Russell. So all the major indexes basically were off. I wanted to kind of show you the allocation here of my stocks currently, and that is, let's see if we can get that in there. Yeah, there we go. This is the allocation of the small portfolio, and what I do with the small portfolio is it's sort of my trading, to give you an idea of what I'm trading, what kind of positions I'm in, and just how I'm doing it. We're basically a quarter in cash. We did come into the market a little bit. We're up on all of our positions with the one exception, of course, that is Alphabet or Google, symbol GOOGL. I do believe because of the 20 for 1 split that is coming up in July, if you're on record as of July, you will get 20 shares for each one owned. That I do believe that we're going to see this one move stronger. There has been a bit of a movement, and I want to show you the chart on this. Of course, the chart is for GOOGL. There are two classes of stock for Alphabet. There's an A share and there's a B share. We're talking mostly about the A share, and I want to show you this chart here. This is for the A shares. We see we came down to that 2,500 mark. Then we bounced, and I do believe we're going to move above the 200-day line. We've had 1, 2, 3 days of upward movement on Google, GOOGL, and of course that is the Alphabet is the name of the company now, but Google is the stock GOOGL. So that's one that you might want to take a look at as a possible buy. I want to show you the technicals on this one. It's 100% on the checklist, even though it's trading below the 200-day line. This is very, very rare for me to buy below that 200-day line. But in this case, with as strong a checklist as we have here, I think that does warrant your attention here. But Google Currently, it closed a little bit up today. It was up about $11. The volume was down a little bit, but it looks like it's going to cross that very critical 200-day moving average. So right now, the 200-day moving average sits at $2,718 per share on Google, and it does look like we're going to probably move beyond that, hopefully tomorrow, if we get another update on Google. So that's one you might want to put into your kind of on your watch list. Now, let's see. Going back to some of the stocks that I think that we want to definitely take a look at here. One of them, one of the things that we got to be concerned about in this market right now is the volatility has gone back up again, and that indeed is a situation that is difficult. By the way, if you are looking on TikTok, super easy to get all of these charts and everything that I'm showing you. It's the YouTube channel that I have is called Dallas Trading Floor. If you want to get a direct connection, just go to the profile, click on the link, and you'll get a live feed of what I'm talking about here. So volatility is definitely up on the market. This could be a difficult thing. We could take another leg down. So we want to be kind of defensive in this market. I want to show you a stock that I am buying today. That's Raytheon Technologies. Talked a little bit about that. RTX is the symbol, RTX. Of course, this is a defense stock, not normally in my not normally in the stocks that I look at, but I think that, looking at the live chart, I think we have potentially something good here. Now, I did buy it technically above the buy zone, so that's a little bit concerning. So I do think that we're probably going to get a pullback, though it is up after hours. The reason this stock I think will do well is that it makes missile batteries, and those are in short supply right now in Europe, with the war drums being beaten. So not to try to benefit from here, but this one does look very, very strong in terms of the fundamentals on it. If you look at the moving averages on the technicals, this is Raytheon, which I bought today. It's above the 200-day, it's above the 50, above the 21, and above the 10-day line. The checklist on it is not quite as good as Cheniere, but it's quite good, 78% on that checklist. So that's one you want to kind of put on your watch list to see if it might work for you. The other one, of course, that I think that you ought to take a look at is LNG, which is Cheniere. So those are the ones that I think are the most likely. Now I want to also show you the stock of the day. This is from Investor Business Daily. This is their stock of the day. It's SOL, AOSL, Alpha Omega Semiconductor, AOSL. This is a Chinese semiconductor company, as far as I know. No, I'm sorry, it says Bermuda-based, but really, this is a Chinese company, but they are doing fairly well. So be a little bit careful with this one. This is the stock of the day. This is the stock of the day in the fabless space. And it does have a very good checklist. It's a 90-89 checklist on this one. And on the technicals, it is looking very good. It's above the 250, 21, and 10-day lines. So right now, it is a potential with a cup and handle formation. This one could be bought. I'm not currently in this one, but definitely one that you might want to take a look at, look-see on, because it definitely has some very nice characteristics. The buy point was 43. It's at 53 right now, so it's a little bit extended, but it does have this cup with handle. And then the next buy point is 59. So we definitely can possibly take a look at this one. I'm going to draw a trend line here and then do a trend line alert on it, because this is going to show us if it moves above this trend line. So this is where we want to kind of buy it as it moves above that trend line. But this one you might want to put on your radar screen. This is Alpha and Omega Semiconductor, symbol AOSL is the symbol on that one. All right, let's go to, we did that, okay. Oh, and by the way, for everybody out there. Just also wanted to point it out. I do have a watch list available. Super easy to get to get a copy of that. Just go to https://bit.ly/DTF0089 to get that the watch list that I'm looking at currently. Be very careful on this right now, and for this one. And I think you've got to you've got to be careful with Domino's. Domino's is showing weakness, and it does look like it's going lower. Earnings are in one day, so I would be very, very careful about this stock right now. And it does look like we're below the 250 21-day and 10-day line. We're just above that at 1.32%. So right now, I've just got to say thumbs down on Domino's. Just not looking very good, unfortunately. All right, let's go to some of the questions from TikTok. Thanks so very much. By the way, everybody, this is Yazin Booker. Yeah, Boo Booker. My YouTube channel is called Dallas Trading Floor. So that's the name of my that's the name of my YouTube channel. All right, let's look at Palantir. Palantir has been hurt, and I don't think it's coming back right now. This might be a short candidate. I'm going to take a look at it just to take a look. Yeah, I do think that this may be shortable in this form, but it's a very inexpensive stock right now, $11.85. So not looking too good on Palantir right now. So here's the thing. I just think that it's just one of those things. I definitely think this could go lower. It's just one of those things. The pattern recognition is 44. So really have to say, if you're down more than 7% on Palantir, I think that probably a good time to think about exiting. I just think that you don't want to waste you don't want to use any more of your capital on this one right now. The tech stocks are just getting hammered. The area of the market that you want to be in right now are the oil and gas stocks and some of the defense stocks. That seems to be where the market is. I'm going to go and jump on over to the listing for the best areas of the market. And let's take a look at where the groups that are looking good And so we can find places that we can put some money to work right now. One of the areas, of course, that is doing very well right now, and unfortunately it's because of the war, and that is the aerospace and defense area. And I want to kind of point out some of the stocks that are in this area. It's moved above the 200 line, and there are the top stocks in this are Lockheed Martin, Harris, AAR, and Helco. So there's a lot, and then Raytheon. The one that is doing the best, of course, is this EBIT Technologies. Don't know quite what they're doing. Relatively thin stock. I wouldn't be probably a buyer of this one. I think it's a little bit speculative. But if we look at the rest of the area, the one that I particularly like right now is RTX, and of course that is Raytheon, and it has come out of this base, and I do think that it's likely to move higher. The checklist on this one, of course, is 78. So RTX is this one. It's a little extended. Probably not the greatest place to buy this one right now, but still quite a good stock. All right, so we have some more comments. Thanks for coming on and putting those comments in. Upstart, can we short it? Wow, Upstart is sort of the trading stock that everybody likes to trade. It's very volatile, OPST. I would be super careful with this one because I've seen this one snap back like nobody's business. Right now, Upstart is, it did have this death cross happening here, so it's definitely in mode to be shorted. There's no question about that. We haven't really had a right shoulder here. We have a head. We have a left shoulder. The question is, are we going to get a right shoulder? And I think that may be happening here. We want to see this thing rally up to possibly the 21-day line. It looks like it's in a rally mode, so I wouldn't short it now, but I would wait until we get a failure. And I think the failure is likely to come fairly soon. But right now we have to wait for to short this one. So here's what I would do with with Upstart. Upstart potentially. Upstart is a potential it's a potential short, but the stock has not made a right shoulder yet. So we must wait on this one. So that's really kind of the thing here. In order for a shorting pattern really to make itself available, it has to have. Let's see if it. Well, it didn't. Oh, it didn't let me do that. So anyways, we're not ready to short this one yet because it has not made that right shoulder. So that's the key here. Until it makes the right shoulder, we can't really do anything with this. So we got a watch list Palantir, at least for right now, on that. All right, next question. Thank you very much, Ahmad. PDCE, let's take a look at this stock. PDCE, and let's take a look at it. All right, PDC Energy. Oh yeah, okay, this is good. Colorado and West Virginia. I definitely like these energy stocks. I think this is a good choice, Ahmad. Let's just see if it's buyable. Well, that's an 8 of 9. That's very, very good. There is a buy point on this one at 59. We're at 64. And on the technicals, boy, we're a little bit extended above the 10-day line. The only thing about this one, I do like this one, but I think you want to wait for the pullback on this one. But I definitely think this is buyable, and it's in the right area of the market. So here's what I would do. Here's what I would do with this one. Wait for the pullback, and then buy. I wouldn't buy this one right now. I think it's going to pull back to the buy point. The buy point on this one is about 59. So here's what I would do. I would wait for the pullback and then buy maybe with a limit order at 59, which is the buy point. So that's kind of how I would do it with this stock. It's a good stock. It's in a good area, and but I don't think it's the right place to buy it. I think you need to be a little bit careful. A little bit careful on this one. Let's see if I can get this one to. Yeah. So basically, here's what I would do: wait for that pullback on the stock, PDC Energy. Wait for the pullback. Currently, it's trading at 64. Wait for it to pull back to about 59. I think there's going to be a reversal at that 59 because this is the buy point. So the symbol on this one is PDCE, and it is looking very good. The checklist is strong, and the pattern recognition, we are a little bit above that pivot, but I still think that if this pulls back just a tad, I think we could have a very nice buy on this one. So definitely watch this one, and definitely something that that you want to definitely take a look at. So it looked very, very good. Audio. Okay. Do I have audio issues? Let's see. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. I should have audio. Okay. So I should have audio. Okay. Maybe I had audio issues. Thank you for. Can hear you on TikTok though. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Jay. So appreciate it. I don't know why I'm having trouble with the audio. Let me see if I can get the audio back here. Let me see. Well, it should allow this. Yeah, I should have audio here because I'm showing it with a green bar. So I don't know. That's no audio. Golly. Never mind. It's fixed. Okay, great. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I've moved to some new software, and boy, I tell you, it's always a problem. ICD. Let's take a look at ICD. Okay. All right. And that is Independence Drilling provides land-based. Okay, drilling services in the Permian. This is not a bad area to be in. I think there's going to be a lot of drilling in the Permian, but this one, I don't think this is necessarily the right place to buy it. The checklist is good, and the technicals are decent. We're right above the 10-day line. It is just essentially kind of slopping around. The issue that I have with this stock, it's not really an issue, but the problem is, of course, its price. And on these lower price stocks that are relatively thin, this could be a difficulty. Would I buy this stock? Well, let's go to the monthly chart and take a look. Yeah, boy, it may be bottoming out. This might be a good time because I'm looking at the chart going all the way back here to 2015, and it pulled all the way down, and now it's starting to get some support. So it's up 15% today. Wow. You know what? I wouldn't buy this one right now, but I would kind of possibly be looking to see if it makes a move higher. It back in February of last year it was all the way up at $7. I'm going to draw a trend line here. This is sort of a this is sort of a reversal line. I'm going to set a reversal. I'm going to set an alert on that reversal. We're still in a downward trend on this one, so we can't really buy it at this level. So here's what I would say on here's what I would say on this one. Still in a downtrend, needs to move above trend line. So that's the main thing here. It is a fairly inexpensive stock, and that can be difficult when you're dealing with these more inexpensive stocks. Is that you need to see it make a move to the upside. Currently, it definitely looks like it might break out, but the breakout would be, the breakout is going to be basically above It's going to be above this line here, and so we are not there yet. Let's see if it gets some power and if it can break higher. Right now, it is the really. I think that if this thing moves above about $4.15, then we could possibly take a look at it. But right now, I think we've got it. We just got to put it on hold, and I don't think we can have the capability to do it, unfortunately. I definitely like the idea of drilling in the Permian, but right now I think you got to be careful with it. Thanks. This AMKR. Let's take a look at that real quick. AMKR, and see if we are looking at Amcor Technologies. This is chip technology company. The chips have not been doing all that well. I'll be honest with you. The chip area has not been doing all that well. The action is in the energy space. Believe it or not, in fertilizer, I want to come back and show you two stocks that, believe it or not, are doing very, very well. So I wouldn't recommend Amcor, unfortunately. Yeah, we're below everything. We're below that 200-day line. So I just have to say, not a buy at this point. I just I think it's tough because this is where I like to go for a lot of stuff, but not a buy below the 200-day moving average. So you just can't buy it below the 200-day moving average. It's just not a good place for it. So that's really what we have to. That's really what I have to say on Amcor. We just really can't buy it here. It's just too weak. But I don't want to be a negative Nelly here. I want to show things that are possible, and we can do good things with this. And this is two stocks that I want to kind of show you here. Let's see if we can get them up here. I guess I didn't get it in. Did I get it in here? Well, I guess I didn't get them in here, but I want to show you two stocks that are doing well. One is NTR. I do own it. And this is Nutrien. And this was up significantly today. Hopefully we can see this. These are the kind of stocks that you should be looking at right now. Should be stocks like this one, Nutrien. It's up strongly today. It's a fertilizer stock. I know that's very, very weird, a weird thing that I'm talking about a fertilizer stock. But as you can see, it's just moving right up. This stock probably will do very, very well with inflation. So, and it's just kind of stepping up each time. It's just stepping up higher, and it just stepped up today. The reason this one, of course, is going to be doing well is because this war is going to create a lot of pressure on. This is going to create a lot of pressure on the food system because of inflation. This has a 100% checklist, and on the technicals, it's looking very good. It's a little extended above the 10-day line, and will pull back a little bit. But this one, if you'll notice on the chart, it has moved above the NASDAQ. So this sector of the economy, chemicals, agricultural, it is outperforming the NASDAQ right now. So it's just one of those things. Another one that this one is called Nutrien, NTR. That's one you might want to take a look at. Let's take a look at some of the other ones on the question. What's the name of the last stock? That's Nutrien, NTR. And then the one before that I covered was Raytheon, and that is RTX. That is the name. That is the name of them. Okay. What do you think about Tesla for the week? Well, Tesla had a move up today. Very nice. Let's take a look at it. TSLA, of course, is the symbol for Tesla, and we had a nice move above the 200-day line today. That is a key indicator that we may be coming back to we may be changing the trend here. 880, 870, but I just don't think right now it's time to buy this one. I think we have to wait on Tesla if we're not in it. Now I'm not in the stock right now. I was stopped out. I think with Tesla, we need to wait for a close above 900. a share. That's really where we got to buy because it's still basing. So we can't really probably buy this until it's above about 900. Why is 900 so important? Well, it's this buy point right here. Just want to show you. We're almost there. We're almost there, but we're not there yet. And so we need to move above this trend line. And I'm going to set an alert on that trend line. We need to move above this trend line in order for that really to work. And that's the $900 level right there. We need to move above that before we can even consider getting back into it, because currently there's a downward trend on Tesla. So not where we want to be looking to buy it right now. There is a downward trend on Tesla, so not a good thing, unfortunately. Okay, let's look at Pratesh. Thank you. Let's look at Square. And I did move out of a trade on Square. I don't own it currently. I had a spread trade, did pretty well on that. It does look like it may have potential for shorting. Okay. Now, if you'll notice, this is a very common. Um, this is a common look. We have a head here, and we sort of have a very high right shoulder. Typically, the left shoulder, which is here, is higher, which it is 283 and 270. So it's just slightly lower. This isn't really a great head and shoulders pattern, but this is typically what you want to look at. You want to look at a high on the left shoulder, then an ultimate high, which isn't very high actually, and then a right shoulder. It doesn't always work. And then typically we want to see the breakdown. And the breakdown in the stock is when the 50-day moved below the 200-day. That is the death cross. And as you can see, that's when it started to fail. It's been rallying up to that 21-day line. That's this green line here. I want to show you. And then as it tries to rally, and then it falls over. Now, this is tried to rally to the 40-day line. If it fails here, and this is what we've got to watch, if it fails here, this could be a good shorting opportunity for this stock. Let's take a look at the monthly chart, and I want to take a look at it. As you can see, we have come down, and now we're trying to regain some strength. So this is not a bad place to look to short this one. So on my short list, I'm going to put Square is on short list, and that's kind of what I'm looking at here. I'm looking at this one has moved up very nicely, and now it's looking like it's trying to make a stand at the 50-day line, but it's not able to keep that. Now, I did short this once before successfully right at here, and we did okay. We closed it with a profit. Here we just went through earnings, and it doesn't look like it was as good as it could have been. A lot of these stocks are being punished. Yeah, as you can see, the profits were down, even though the sales are up, which is very, very good. Sales are up, profits are down. That's where we're going to have the problem. It does have positive cash flow, but this one could be potentially a short. So I'm going to put this on my list for a short, just because. But we have to see if it can hold this 50-day line. If it can, then of course it's not a short. But if it can't, then we probably are going to go lower. All right, let's take a look at Tesla. We did Tesla. What about ICD? Let's see. This is a question coming from TikTok. ICD. Let's take a look. And that, of course, is independent. Oh, we did independent astrology. I'm sorry. We did this one. Okay, so on Tesla, we have to wait to see it closes above that very critical $900 level. That's got to be where it's got to close above in order for even to consider it with any possibility. Any thoughts about MGY? Let's look at MGY here. MGY. And that is Magnolia. Great company, good position. in the buy zone. I'm liking this, Charbel. This is a good one. This is a good one. I think you're onto something here. 89 checklist, that's strong. Technicals looking good. It's a little bit extended above that 10-day line. It's a little bit. I typically like to buy within 5% of that 10-day line, but it's right in the buy zone. So that's looking very, very good. Let's look at the pattern rack on this one. We're 4% above the pivot in 32 days. So we kind of did this consolidation. It does look like it may move higher. Here's what I would do on this one. I do think this is buyable. So what I would do on this one, I would put a limit order in this. I probably would not be, but put a limit order in at, and I'm going to put it in right at the pivot on this one, and I'm right at the pivot at 2140. So that's where I would be probably trying to buy this one at about 2140. So I think it's going to pull back down a little bit, and it may give us an opportunity to buy it. So, there we go. Wrong one there. Wrong headline. 2140. I think that's where you want to do it. Limit order and looking good. This is a good stock, and it's in a good area. The oil and gas is just this. The last 6 months it has been great. And it's 4 out of 197. With inflation, this should do very, very well. So I like this stock a lot. I'm currently not in Magnolia. I'm in Matador. Let's take a look at Matador. MTDR. Many of these stocks are similar because they're commodity-based stocks. This one is probably not as viable. Well, it's similar in that it pulled back and then it's pulling up. See, I bought a full position there at 47. It's 49 right now. So this is another one, Matador Resources as well. But there's a lot of good ones in this particular area. Let's take a look at some of the E&Ps and see if we can find we can find other ones that in this space that we can definitely look at. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going back to the ranking, and this is number 4. And this has been in the top 10 for just like 6 months. So this has been a strong area of the market. Let's look at the top stocks and look at the top stocks here. The top stocks currently in this area are Devon, Evolution Petroleum, Chesapeake, PDC, and Matador. So I'm in Matador, but I'm not in Devon. Let's take a look at the chart on Devon to see if that's possible entry on Devon. Devon isn't giving us, unfortunately, a good entry point here. So that's unfortunate. Let's see if there's any others that do have a better entry. And I'm looking at ones that are just off their highs. Let's look at Chesapeake. Chesapeake has a lot of natural gas. It's based in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It is just above the buy point too. Unfortunately, this is another one you want to possibly put on your list as well. So looking very good in terms of the E&P companies for, looking very good for the E&P companies, definitely. So I definitely think that's a good one. Try to wait for it to pull back a little bit and to that buy point, and then I think you could definitely get into it. So very, very nice. PXD, let's look at this one as well. Okay, PXD. And let's take a look at PXD. Pioneer Natural Resources. This is a very good company. Also, it's also kind of in this area. It is extended, unfortunately. I wish I could say that it wasn't. It's a little extended right now, but these E&P companies are doing fabulous. And basically the buy point on this one on a consolidation base, 196. So we're way above that at 238. So I don't think we can buy Pioneer. Unfortunately, it's just extended, and it's just one of those things, right now. So, PDX is extended. So can't buy. Unfortunately, because it's a good stock and a great area, but it's just extended, and you just don't want to buy extended if you don't have to. That could be a very, very deadly thing. All right, let's take some other questions. HIB, HIBB. I don't know what that stock is. Let's take a look. HIBB. And that is, oh yeah, a Hibbert. Okay. Specialty, gear specialty stores. Okay. Well, it looks like it's a retail stock. Not that familiar with it, but I tell you what, I wouldn't be a buyer of it. Why? Because the 40-day line has moved below that 200-day line. So this is just not a good thing happening here. We do have it moving down to the 50-day line. So this does not look good. This does not look good. This is a relative strength of 11. So this is just not a good stock. I just don't think this one is going to be very good. 44 per checklist, not very strong. So here's my take on HIB. HIB, HIBBB is in a downward trend. So it's just when it's in a downward trend like this. Remember, the trend is your friend. And when the trend is down, we really don't want to buy it because there's too many other good stocks out there. And when it's in a downward trend like this, that can be a very, very difficult thing. Well, I think we're almost out of time here. Let's take a look at some of the other comments, see if I can get through everybody. Last time we had a fall through day, we started selling the next day. Thoughts? Wow. Good question, Derek. Great question. Not looking good. I mean, I don't think we're going to have a fall through day. We were on day two and it just doesn't look good here. So I think we're maybe taking another leg down. So be very, very careful. Unfortunately, we may have, this is just a very tough, volatile market, hard to trade, but I do think we're taking the move lower. We want to be in certain areas of the market. We want to be in the resource stocks. We want to be possibly in some of the defense stocks, but tech just isn't doing well. I do have one exception, of course, and that is Google. I think for the long term, at least until this split on July 1st, that's the of record date. I think that one should do well, but boy, I tell you, it's a tough market. We just are not doing as well as we normally do. It's a very, very difficult market. There's a lot of downward trending stocks. We have to kind of focus on being in cash and finding stocks that are going to move higher. So it's just great. Just the only way to to do it. Okay. So China, just to recap everything, the stocks I'm in currently, I do have some stocks that are up, and they are basically these stocks. Basically Cheniere Energy, that one is done very, very well. Now, I did add to my position in Cheniere. I only had a half position. I went to a full today in Cheniere. Nutrien, NTR, that is up as well, and that's doing well. Matador, this is one of the oil stocks that I own. And Alphabet, it's a little bit down, but I do think long term it's going to be good. Raytheon, I just bought today. These are going to give you the stop losses on all of these. So if you're following along, also I want to point out that again, we want to be very careful right now. The software stocks that normally have been great, the NASDAQ stocks have not been doing well. We want to be more in the energy-related stocks and possibly defense. So that's kind of where the market is taking us. At least that's what it's showing right now. Also, if you're interested, we have a great we have a great watch list. This is the watch list that we did for the 25th. This was basically on Friday. You can get a copy of this watch list super duper easy. Just go to https://bit.ly DTF0089 and you'll get access to the watch list. And it's got some very, very good stocks on it. it's been curated, and I've sorted it by relative strength. So hopefully that will be of use for everyone. And by the way, if you haven't signed up for the Action Trade Alerts, super duper easy to do. Just go to www.Dallas Trading Floor and first and last name and an email address, so we can send you some stuff for free. Also, we have a YouTube channel. Of course, you're watching on the YouTube channel, but if you aren't, and it's just youtube.com/Dallas Trading Floor, all one word. Well, I think I've got two more things, and we'll be coming back. Oh, all right. Let's see if we can answer that question. Was today's close bullish? No, unfortunately, it wasn't, Derek. I wish it was. I wish it was. I wish it was. I wish it was, but no, it is not. Unfortunately. Let's see. Okay. Last time we had a fall through day. Yeah, it's true. Okay. I want to go all in Google at 22. Me too. I do too. I do too. But I think we're going to see a very nice split on Google. Well, I know we're going to have a very good split. So, Derek, let's see. Yeah, we're in a downward trend. Unfortunately, we are in a downward trend. Okay. Is CrowdStrike a defense stock? No, it is not. Let's look at CRWD. I don't think we want CrowdStrike right now, even though the cybersecurity stocks are doing well in the software space. It's one of the few areas that has been performing well. But let's look at CrowdStrike, and that's be the last one for today. So here we go on CrowdStrike. We did have it pop up today above the 50-day line, but here's something I want to show you that is a little bit troubling, and that is we have a death cross on CrowdStrike. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to move, it's continuing to move lower, but the trend right now is downward. There is a reversal line that we can put on there, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to set that alert. There is a reversal line that we can put on there. It does look like it's moved a little bit above that, but it's very, very weak right now, and the checklist is not very good at 56. So I just can't recommend buying. I can't recommend buying CrowdStrike, and I don't think it's a very good defense stock. And I think that you have to be in the real defense stocks. But I appreciate the question very, very much. All right. Well, I will be back tomorrow, probably around 5 o'clock. Probably around 5 o'clock tomorrow Central Time. And I hope everyone is doing well. Regardless of the market, we're going to make money in this. So just keep positive. That's the main thing. We're going to do some spreads and make some money in this market, regardless of how everything is trading. So I want to just say, hang in there. And if you're not already, if you're not already on the Action Trade Alerts, then consider that. All right, one last question. Derek is what about Bitcoin? Let's take a look at Bitcoin. I haven't done a lot on Bitcoin, but let's I'm just going to go out here to the web to get the Bitcoin price, and I haven't looked at it today, but we do see it is strengthening a little bit. It is strengthening a little bit, but I still think that the problem that we have really with Bitcoin is we have a lot of bank intervention, and I just think it's a tough, it's harder to trade it right now. So I don't know if I would be coming into Bitcoin, but let's pull up the Bitcoin chart, and there we go. Okay, well, as you can see, we definitely had a nice bounce. We pulled all the way down to 38, and we're now up to 43. It's been up. It's been up 12% last month, but it's still really volatile. The overall trend, and I'm showing you the 6-month chart here, is downward. So right now, I think that we're seeing a dead cat bounce a little bit. I want to see it. I want to see if it gets support here at about 40. If it does, then it could be good. But I'm really leery right now with everything going on, and a lot of so I don't necessarily think it's a great time to be entering Bitcoin. As you can see, this is the yearly chart. We were all the way up here, 47. So we've kind of done a round trip. We've almost round tripped everything. So I just want to see some more support. If it moves above 60, That's where 60,000. That's where I would start getting more interested. But right now, right now I'm not as interested. But you want to see it make an all-time high. That's if it moves above above about 60, as you can see, that's where it made it. That's when we're going to see, could be a time to get into Bitcoin. There is a way to play Bitcoin even if you don't have a Bitcoin wallet, and that is the GBTC, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. And what this is it's an ETF that tracks Bitcoin. And as you can see, it is still, unfortunately, this is still below the 200-day moving average. So not a good place to be. So this is a proxy for Bitcoin, and it's in a downward trend. It's making an attempt at a rally, but it is not there yet. All right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow with more, probably about 5 o'clock, depending on how everything gets set up correctly. And also, just I asked everybody, please, 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 if you can, trees like this that gets us out there to a lot of people. And I'll be back tomorrow with more. Sign up for the action trailers, and I'll see you soon.